I've got more I want to ask you about masculinity in general.
Go.
I wonder if you've got more questions on this upper lower thing.
Not specifically now. I think it's an overriding theme we're going to come back to again and again, because it goes for everything.
Yeah.
Everything. We're talking about the natural. Every chapter has its upper and lower energy.
Everything.
So we're going to come back to it. So
Yeah.
kick off.
Go ahead.
Oh, good silence.
Yeah.
I got something earlier from you when you said you love the polarity in the essence of women, and that sent shivers down my spine.
I do, you know. What do you love about it?
I just got that. I think I got it. Like the polarity and the it's the we've got this sameness.
Yeah.
And when you see a woman that is so opposite to me,
Yeah.
to act on that,
What a delightful thing. And we're so afraid of it. It's ridiculous. You know? That's this, to me, it's like, yeah.
So, you talk a lot in the book in absolutes, men this and women
Yeah.
this, and you say that you know that you're doing that. So
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
lining yourself up for.
I can take it.
Yeah.
But underlying that, it seems that you're saying if both in this chapter about men and in the way of women, it's like you're saying if men and women really look beneath all the respective roles that they think they've been assigned by society and look deep into their own hearts, very, very deeply, it seems like you've drawn out some fundamental principles of this rhythm, this age-old rhythm of
Yeah.
men and women. And one we touched on the other day that I want to come back to is this man and a sense of adventure.
Yes.
Like the way he's always going, like the true spirit of the masculine when it's completely owned and understood and embraced by a man, he's always heading off to his adventure, to his thing beyond. And his woman is holding his hand, catching
Yeah.
up to him or not. The other big theme that comes to my mind is this idea of penetration and surrender. So with masculine, as you're calling it, thrust, like where is this masculine thrust nowadays? And on the other hand, for the feminine side, some women might protest, but the feminine side is about surrender. And seems like all the way through, whether we're talking about sex, it's the most obvious example of penetration and surrender, right into this this whole way of looking across the bar and making eye contact and showing in a subtle way that you've seen her, and there is that lower energy, that masculine penetration is in effect, even in that first interaction across the room. I'd love to hear a few more examples where this idea of penetration, if it feels right to you, plays out throughout our meeting, the seduction, the dating, relationship phase.
Yeah, it's like I've said this phrase, and it's kind of abstract. You guys say, okay, I'm not sure exactly what that means practically, but I say this: your sexual nature as a man. And remember, this is a lesson to myself. That's balanced. It should be the first thing that enters a room. Your spirit arrives, and it's not a aggressive. Well, we've already talked about this. Not aggressive, solely penetrative thing, but it is. There's a thrust that the whole room can feel. The women can feel, and the men can feel that here I am, and I don't apologize because I'm a man. So the women can feel that in your eyes. I'm a man who likes women. I'm a man who knows, who likes the fact that I'm a man. This is a key thing. I embrace the fact that I'm a man. That's a joyous thing to me. I like that. That's a good thing to be. Not a shameful, toxic thing to be, like we're taught. You know? No, I embrace that with full respect and full empathy and everything and all those beautiful, charming things. And your eyes show it. Your body shows it. Your body shows that I'm here. and hey, hello girls, and hello girls over here. I don't know how else to say it. It's like is this an abstract thing? It's a feeling, as opposed to a technique or something you're doing. Like, okay, guys, narrow your eyes down a little bit, and then you look more sexual. I don't know how to say these kind of things. Cock your head like this when you walk in, and stick out your chest. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's amazing, it's you're saying your eyes and your body both show that one, you've got the empathy part, and two, you've got the lower destructive part at the same time.
That is the man that a woman goes home and thinks about. Like, he wasn't the tallest guy, he wasn't that good looking, but there's something about his presence that had a respectful thrust to it, which is like, I felt it here. I felt that guy's energy in my body.
What I imagine is that to fake that body language or to fake that eyes is never going to work at all. It's something that each man, we have to discover and develop from the inside.
Yeah, and there's no shortcut. It's got to be, you've got to go, you have to do your personal work to try and understand who you are and to make friends with yourself and say, I want to understand. It's the way it is.
Going back to that idea of penetration,
Yeah.
just having listened to you and seen you as well these days, it's like from first contact there is that penetration and back.
Yeah. She
Like
always has
in
space.
sex you go in and you come out. So from
It's like
sex
that.
you go in and you come out. You make a joke and you come out. You say something strong and then you lean back with your buddies and share your energy to the world.
Yeah.
All of the time it's like that rocking motion in and then out seems to be in play with you.
My whole thing is, that's a great way of saying it, because my whole approach to women is a rocking motion. Excuse me, that's why I can say something strong, because I'm gracefully letting her go too.
Yeah.
So I can say, hey, hello, and you, and I can go back here, and I can come right back again. So my whole thing, even my physical approach to women, is in strong, and then out, back to Owen over here, and then back to these girls. So yeah, it's very much that.
And that's where most men go wrong, either in a bar or on a date.
They plant.
Here we are, we arrive, boom. Might be little force or it might be the full force.
Yeah.
And there we stay.
And there we stay.
And
Because I'm a man, I'm unmovable.
Yeah.
You know, like no. It's like there's a dance. We talk about the dance the whole time, and this, you know, interacting with women is a dance.
Yeah.
And she has to be there willingly. You know, the analogy is like, you know, when you're dancing with a woman, you lift up her hand for her to spin.
Yes.
And you don't do this.
Yeah.
Spinning around. You basically you lift her hand and give her the space that she can spin herself. So you're just lifting up the hand and giving her that space so the world can see what a beauty she is as she spins. That's a co-created dance, as opposed to I'm going to capture you here. And so there's no invasion in it at all. And there's no sexual aggression or sexual frustration in it. But there's very much a sexual element to it. And the problem with modern men and all their dates and even when they go to bed with women, there's no sexual nature to it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to try and get her in the mood. What a phrase. Women are always in the mood. Always in the mood. I have to do something to get her in the mood. Maybe if I massage her, wash her hair in the bathtub, maybe I'll get her in the mood. And women say, okay, come please me. I like it. I'll lay back here and you go down on me. I'll like that. No problem.
can you say more about how that is? Because I imagine that's your beige lovemaking, as you call it.
Yeah.
Seems, what's an example of that? Because it seems kind of crazy to think that a man would go home with a woman and then in the midst of what should be a sexual encounter there's
A nice guy encounter, which she tolerates. I mean, I've been saying it for a long time. A woman can get herself off faster than you can. Right? With her imagination and her toy. Right?
Yeah.
She can get herself off faster than you can do it. Because she's caught up in something up here. And we do all these things. And women have it wrong too. There's an entire industry of instruction and books out there on how to please a woman. She comes first. Make sure that she has an orgasm first, and then you have an orgasm. All this kind of stuff, right? Which is great instruction, because most guys are just going in there and like turning a few knobs and trying to do things, and I don't know what to do. So she gets no fulfillment out of that at all. So I said it in here. There's three levels of a man's sexual experience, I guess you could say. And the first level is he's starting out. He doesn't know. He's naive, but he's sincere, and he has sex with a woman, but he's not sure exactly what to do, and he tries a few things, and his sincerity is there, and but he's not sure. Okay.
And I would also add, it's like he has sex with a woman, but his own experience is in him, and he has all these questions. He wonders if she liked it or what happened with her, and he goes home at the end of it still scratching his head thinking, wonder what it was like for her. I've got no idea what.
Perfect, Jordan, exactly.
And then he comes and asks us a bunch of questions on the forum, and we're like, well, did you ask her?
Yeah, exactly. So he has this beginning of his sexual experience of life, and he scratches his head, and he's not sure. He's not sure. Then, as he moves through his life, he gets more experience, and or he reads some books on women's anatomy, how to go down on a woman, how to touch her, how to all these different things. Okay, and so he becomes what we would call a better lover. He's a better sexual experience with women, and he knows how to massage. He knows how to touch her. He knows how to go down on her, where to certain things to do, etc. And he's checking in with her. Right? That's a much better experience for women, and women say, "That's what I want. I want that guy." That's our sexual. Or that's our second sexual layer of experience as men. And we know some books and we know some things, and so we learn these kind of things. We know how to massage and stuff. Women say, that's what I want, because I'm have a joyful experience. This guy knows how to give me an orgasm, and I want this, right? But there's a third level, and I touched on it. I don't know anybody else saying it at all. But I touched on it, which is this. In the first stage, you're trying to please her and trying to figure things out. The second stage, it's all about her. How can I make this woman have a great sexual experience with me? And women say, yep, sign me up for that one. I want that guy. That's what I want too. And all the books are constructed around how to do that. Give her a pleasure.
I imagine what he gets from that is, one, he gets to be with women, so he gets the love and the feminine beauty and everything attached to that. But he also gets to feel safe. Like his ego is...
Yeah, I'm doing something good and constructive here.
Yeah. I made it as a man. And
I made it.
Yeah.
I got her off.
But it's still very much couched in her response to him.
Yes. It's still him. It's still an energy directed towards her and making sure that this is good. Okay?
I'm a good lover if she likes it.
Right.
So my sense of self and lovemaking and masculinity in this sense comes in effect from her response.
Yes, and that's where that's the ending of our instruction in the books out there. That's where it is. That's the culmination. That's where a man is a good lover, right? And then that third stage of knowledge and experience is this. And I have to say it carefully, but it's true. It's when he's no longer trying to figure things out. He's no longer focused on pleasing her. The third stage is he pleases himself through her body. And he announces that to her. I'm going to do this because it pleases me, and through her body. It's the most unselfish thing a man can do in bed, because it catches a woman up.
Say that again. What is the unselfishness about it when he is...
When he says, when he says, I'm going to, in the gloriousness of you and what you're presenting to me, of you, I'm going to I'm going to feast fully, and I'm going to imbibe, and I'm going to use you, my dear. It's hard to describe. It's hard to describe. For sure, sorry, Owen. For sure, it is that it's the next level over here, where he's saying, "This is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to receive your gifts that you're giving to me, and thank you, and I have gratitude in it." And when it's no longer about pleasing her, which is a great lovemaking thing, but it's about pleasing myself through your body, This is when women go out of their minds, start speaking Chinese.
Yeah.
You know, start and really, because it's a I don't know how to describe it, but I've been taught this by women. Oh.
I take a great amount of pleasure through getting a woman to orgasm. And she goes into that state and she starts talking Chinese. I imagine it's something similar to that. I take pleasure. My pleasure is through her pleasure.
Mm. Yeah, exactly. It is the most unselfish thing because it is the highest pleasure you can offer her. I don't know how else to say it. It's like we hear about we should talk dirty. Like girls like, you know, when you talk dirty, but there's a vibration that they're looking for. A vibration in her neck. And a lower vibrating energy. Not so much what you're saying so much. Well, that's part of it too, but there's a vibration that she needs to feel so she can, like I said, a woman can get herself off faster than you can with all your tricks and techniques. Right? So that isn't what she's looking for. She's looking for this psychological, this spiritual element of vibration and being swept up.
So, got a few questions on this to clarify. I think it's a very delicate theme because it's a very shocking thing to say in a sense that it's your pleasure. You take your pleasure through her.
Yeah.
Does that mean that sex for you in this stage is rougher than it is for the technique guy?
No, because remember, pleasing yourself could be this. The way I'm going to please myself is to go down on my woman for an hour. That's pleasing myself. You see what I mean? It doesn't mean that you're like just, you know, there's no foreplay. You're still pleasing yourself and what you want, how you want to feel and experience your woman. So like it means there's nothing short about it or anything like that.
So the actions could be all the same.
Same.
Throughout.
Yeah, but it's the intent.
This is the true desire of me from what comes from inside. It's not me like
my
best
thrusting
guessing.
nature is here. Yeah.
I'm doing what is true for me. I'm not best guessing.
Right. The
what she
second
might
stage
want.
guy, that second stage when he's massaging her and got the right oils and stuff like that and going down at her, there's no thrust in him still. I shouldn't say that because there could be. But there's no element in her that she's being a delicate thing again, that she's being ravished. You see what I'm saying? And women want to feel that. They want to feel like that caught breath. So the actions could be all the same. And maybe indistinguishable from the guy in that second stage. And he might be doing all kinds of massages. I'm not saying anything that's bad. But that's who he is and how he wants to present himself to the world and to his woman here.
So that's the surrender part, which is if you're approaching as a man to, you know, press all the knobs in the right place, in the right order, and try and build something up. But it's got a very different quality than the full penetration of your spirit into that. Like, I'm just going to go and get stuck in and follow what's true for me.
Right.
With full respect, but true for me.
Here's my truth, I'm speaking to you
You're
again.
fully penetrating from your spirit. It's not like your mind is in the way trying to make stuff happen.
Exactly, right.
And when your spirit penetrates, I imagine her, as Hans says, you've gone in for the kill and now her spirit can be set free.
Now she can relax and be a girl again.
Yes.
Because somebody showed up. A man finally showed up in my life, in my world. I'm this powerful woman, CEO or whatever, and I can be a girl here.
Yeah.
You see?
Made all the decisions so she didn't have to in that moment.
I've got a couple of thoughts on what it could be.
Yes.
And what they are. One is the idea of connectedness, because you're feeling this intense pleasure. She feels that through you. It's the idea of like the mirror neuron thing, like, because you're connected, you're feeling that. So that might be it. And the other thing is the kind of paradox of the outcome. When people are kind of attached to the outcome, it's very much a head energy that they're trying to please her.
Yeah.
But when you bring that full force in your body, not your head, and the irony is the less you are attached to the outcome, which in this case is like orgasm or full sexual experiences, the irony is the more likely it is to happen.
Yes. And you know, like you can take an analogy of a married couple, And the married couple can be something like this. They have their routines and their work and stuff like that, and he's horny, and she's tired, and he's trying to get her in the mood by not pissing her off, by just like kind of stroking a bit. This happens. And maybe if I touch and massage a little bit, and maybe she'll be receptive enough that she will turn her back or turn toward me and give me sex tonight because I didn't get it for the last 3 weeks or 3 months. Maybe I'll just try this. And she just kind of like, you know, shivers it off and just wants to go to sleep. And he's like frustrated. She's frustrated, you know, because there's that nice guy energy. I'm trying to try and get her in the mood. That's a phrase. Shocking. As the opposite, or the opposite of that, is a married couple. And hey, that's my wife. You owe me sex. And then there's an aggressive, penetrating, not sharing thing. And it's like, and you've got these two types of things. I'm not saying everybody, but these scenarios happen. As opposed to the invitational side of things, the invitation to partake in something. And Jordan, you said it fantastically. It's like, you're not trying to make something happen. You're trying to say, this is, you said it better than I did, so I won't repeat it. I won't try and repeat what you said. But it's a hard thing to describe. And guys will say, well, listen, Zan said I just have to please myself in bed, so I don't need foreplay and all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to, like, you know, basically masturbate through this woman's body. That's not what we're talking about either.
No. You have to be tuned in every step of the way.
You're tuned into her because this is what your pleasure is. Her pleasure is your pleasure. If she's not feeling like a queen, I'm not feeling like a king. Her pleasure is what gives me pleasure.
So we've got, again, one of these dichotomies of, on the one hand, I want to be completely tuned in because her pleasure is mine, and we've got to be participating in this dance the whole way. But on the other hand, now in this level of sex, I can let myself go, and it can be fully the animal for the first time.
Yes, exactly. Because I'm not just pleasing her as my result. I'm pleasing her because it pleases me.
Yeah.
I've got something here. When we talked about the first stage, it seemed like in the first stage you're saying he's trying to please her. Whereas in reality, he's trying to please himself. He's trying to prove to himself a more head validation energy has what's taken. The second stage is trying to please her, and the third stage is more sharing
and
energy.
forgetting about himself.
Yes.
Because he's taught that that's a good thing. I read those books. Pleasing her. I'm going to make sure that, boy, I know all the 16 steps and how to go slow and how to go fast and how to 1 o'clock here on the clit. I know all these little things now, and I know those things. And the amazing thing is you can't short circuit stage 3. Every one of us starts out with stage 1 sexual inexperience. You turn a few knobs, touch a few things. I don't know if that worked. Stage 2 is when you learn all these things, or you try and understand a woman's nature and her anatomy and this kind of stuff, and you can't jump from stage 1 to stage 3.
So you have to go through stage 2.
Yes.
And I'm sat here wondering, well, does stage 2 have to do his 10,000 hours with the technique books until he's like tuned in enough so he can let himself go? Or is this a spirit you're saying to the guy watching this? No, you can approach your woman in a different way tonight.
That I don't know. I don't know. I haven't. This is a culmination of my understanding, my learning, and I wrote it in the book. And as you can tell, I'm struggling to put it into clear cut words, into clear concepts, and so it doesn't come across as ambiguous or misconstrued. And I'm still struggling to it. So even the concept itself, I'm really trying to refine. And I don't know your answer, Jordan. It could be that awareness kicks in, and a guy can say, "Wait a minute, I can be this full force lover that's a sharing experience." But maybe if he doesn't know about massage and how to touch her and what physically makes women, I don't know.
I've got an insight on this.
I'd like to interject here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because in my experience,
you'd like to penetrate here.
I'd like to
penetrate the conversation.
For me personally, I don't think I would have cracked 10,000 hours, and I'm in that third stage now. I know that for sure from my last experience. Maybe it's because I do have a more grounded nature. But it appears to me that I learn very fast. In that. Not so much the approaching part of it, but it's fine.
Once she's in bed, I'm good.
I'm in my element, right?
Yeah.
and my sexual experience has not been written like they are in here. My ability to give women orgasms has kind of always been there in a way.
Yeah.
But
there's something in you,
I went
Yeah.
maybe from stage 2 to stage 3 rather than 1, 2, 3. So
Oh, I see. So you're always good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to put your phone number at the bottom of the screen here.
Yeah.
Be a stage
for a
3
time-
man in Australia.
good time call.
On the bathroom wall.
Yeah, so it is possible,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and like everything, as in everything I say, gentlemen, I say there's 3 stages.
Yeah.
I say women are this and this, dichotomy, Madonna whore, men are. There's all kinds of layers in there, and I make fun of I mock myself in the book because I'm saying all these absolutes, and this is the way it is, and and we know that there's all kinds of variations, and then I'm not speaking for everybody, and somebody's going to read the book or watch this and say that doesn't apply to my experience at all. I get that. I can live with that, and I can take an onslaught. I don't mind that. I'll still sit here on the earth and say that the spirit of men and what we're missing is a thrusting spirit with all full empathy and beauty, and the spirit of women is a receiving energy. I'll say that, and I'll get blasted from all quarters.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll still say that because it's my experience in my years, and maybe in my next 50 years, I learned a completely different thing. I go, wait a minute, I have new light now that I wasn't aware of. I'm open to that. There's nothing in me, even though I speak in absolutes, there's nothing to me saying this is the way it's going to be from the beginning of time, alpha, omega, the end of time. Not at all. I might learn something tomorrow after we go off camera, and I go, wait a minute, hey, that's okay too.